Well, first of all, Dave, I hope you don't mind. There you sit in a clean, professional studio setting, and here I am in the back bedroom of my producer. You can tell by the conspicuous presence of a bed. I hope that doesn't make it weird for you.
Well, it's a dirty job, I guess.
You know what? Honestly, I thought you, of all people, would appreciate the nod toward parsimony. I could have checked into a hotel here in L.A., but we're in and out, lickety-split, and I thought, you know what? If Dave has time to talk at 8 o'clock in the morning, I'll just crash with Chuck, and we'll get it done, and we are grateful.
Game on, brother. Honored to be with you.
You know, I talk to people a lot who will look at their personal finances, and they'll look at our sweat pledge, and they'll listen to our whole rap on debt and say, look, we got a $30 trillion deficit. If it's okay for our country to be that far in that hole, what's the big deal for me?
Well, I really can't control what the Island of Misfit Toys is going to do in Washington. I don't know what they're going to do next. It's the bizarre group of humans. And so I can't control that. It's not something that's within the weather, I can't fix that. It may rain, it may not rain. I can't do that. But I can control what I do within my locus of control. And by the way, people who are highly successful, they understand that they control the controllables and they can't control other people. And you can't use so-and-so does drugs and didn't kill him. I mean, he's done LSD trips every weekend since I've known him. I didn't kill him. So what's the problem? You know, does that somehow validate LSD trips? I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous flow of logic and critical thinking breakdown. The way we look at it is we look at the debt persuasion discussion through whatever lens you're looking at it in. If it's a person of faith, we talk about what the Scripture says. Now, you either believe the Scripture or not. If you're a person of faith, you're supposed to believe the Scripture, and so this is what it says. Now, argue with God, okay? So then, if you want to have an intellectual, mathematical discussion, I can have that too with you, because debt increases risk. 100% of the time. More debt is more risk 100% of the time. Oh, and by the way, you could look at the study we did, which is the largest study of millionaires ever done in North America. We finished it up. Airtight research, over 10,167 millionaires, in-depth study, really good research. Ramsey research team did it. And we found that 89% of them became millionaires not because of an inheritance. 9 out of 10. This idea that the wealth is inherited is absolute BS. It's statistically inaccurate. It's a math thing. It's a fact. It's not a feeling or a political stand. And so we know that. Now then, what is the shortest distance between where you are and being one of them? Well, all we can do is study best practices. What did they do? They avoided debt like the plague, and they invested in their 401k. Most of them are millionaires because they have a paid-for $500,000 or $600,000 or $700,000 house, and they got $1.2 million in their 401k after 20 years of working and getting a match or doing their Roth IRA and mutual funds. It's really not sexy. It's a little bit boring, but it's the shortest. It's the quickest right way to become debt. And let me just tell you, the number of them that said that they made their money with airline miles by using their credit card, that they became wealthy, was precisely zero. The number of them that became millionaires because of the lottery was precisely zero. It's statistical evidence. You can talk about and rationalize that this leasing this stupid $60,000 car when you make $40,000 is okay because everybody else does it, but it's not going to take you where you think you want to go.
You know what the truth is, Dave? The shortest distance doesn't necessarily have to be short. That's the thing. Like that's the tautology here. Anybody can get to be a millionaire, but it's kind of like the Colorado River carving, the Grand Canyon, which brings us back to patience and delayed gratification, and not simply doing a bunch of smart things, but affirmatively not doing a bunch of stupid things. And
rationalizing your butt off.
Right.
I mean, well, somebody's got to win, scratch and sniff. Oh, give me a break.
Hey, man, if you're sniffing that thing, you're doing it wrong.
If you walk 1 mile to the market to buy the lotto ticket, statistically you are more likely to be struck by lightning twice than to buy the ticket that wins. Oh, my gosh. This is ridiculous.
I'm just stuck on the idea that scratching the ticket is no longer enough. Now I have to sniff it
You got to sniff
You got to
Mike.
sniff that lotto ticket. If you really want to invest
All
in your
those little
future.
pieces that you've scratched off.
You got to smell it. Ugh. You've actually done a great job of being crystal clear in everything I've read that you've written, which is let's not finesse it. Debt, bad. Period.
Yeah.
Next top. I mean, am I oversimplifying
Well,
it?
and it's not because Dave says, or it's not because it's a shtick. It's truthfully, when you don't have any payments, you have money. And it gives you the ability to build wealth. And people don't come take crap from you, and when there's a pandemic, it's why is this is a thing, man. But I would have been the guy arguing with you when I was $3 million in debt, telling you how smart I was because I was a brilliant 24-year-old,
Let's talk about the safety net, because so much of a safety net is mental. When I lost my money, I didn't lose my health. I didn't lose my ability to work. I didn't have kids. I didn't have debt. I didn't have obligations. All I lost was my safety net. But I can still hear the sound of my sphincter slamming shut when I look down and didn't see the net where I left it. Now, so that was relatively easy for me to get over. But when people lose that safety net, or let's say somebody's got $8,000 in credit card debt and they've got $10,000 in the bank, and they're looking at an investment opportunity. Do you tell them to choose that investment opportunity wisely, or to simply pay the damn debt off before you even start thinking that way?
Yeah, because the shortest distance between where you are and wealth is not borrowing money on a credit card to invest, which is the actual net effect of not paying the credit card off and investing instead. So if you have the money and you could have paid the credit card off, instead you put it in an investment, it's as if mathematically you borrowed on the credit card to do the investment, which now makes the investment really sound stupid. And so, but you just have to reverse engineer this stuff a little bit and realize what you're actually doing, and you're trying to find a shortcut. And we all love shortcuts, but we all know barbecue in the crock pot is better than barbecue in the microwave.
Shortcuts lead to long delays.
So that is so good.
That's excellent.
We've all traveled all over, and everywhere you go is the best barbecue. I mean, if you're in Texas, they tell you it's the best brisket barbecue. If you're in South
Kansas
Carolina,
City,
low country barbecue, they'll tell you. At Tennessee, Nashville, we got hot chicken and we got barbecue. So, I mean, everywhere you go, they tell you it's the best barbecue. But we all know it didn't come out of a microwave 100% of the time. It's cooked in the backyard so long and smoked back there on something so that the neighbor's dogs are howling. Then you got some good barbecue. But there wasn't any ding. No, that didn't happen.
No ding. I want to be respectful.